And we're live. Y'all can hear me, I hope. Ooh, that didn't sound too good. Anyway, welcome to the Sunday video update. My name is Jared Bear Fuller. It is officially 3 o'clock Eastern time. I'm so glad you could stop and indulge me for about the next hour or so. I hope you've all been doing well. I hope you had a wonderful week. My week was busy. Let's see here. Amy's in the bedroom. Dad had to go uptown or somewhere. I don't know. He should be back anytime though. But thanks for stopping by. I hope you're all doing well and staying productive, staying healthy, and getting out and enjoying summer. It's great. I've been doing pretty good actually. Last week was a very busy week. But before I get to talking about my week, there we go. That's much better. Before I get to that, I want to wish my cousin Damian Waters a very happy birthday today. Day, I didn't forget about you. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. I love you, and hopefully I'll see you soon. So I wanted to make sure I got that out of the way and to remember to wish him a happy birthday. So last week I wasn't here because I was at the Davis family reunion out in Millington, had a great time. Met some cousins, relatives that I didn't even know existed, which is always fun. I mean, you get to know people, you introduce yourself, you kind of ingratiate yourself with the rest of the family. And it was really cool. It was really cool to meet a lot of people that I've never met before. And there were little tiny babies at the reunion. It's like, oh, there's the next generation. They're going to carry on, probably, potentially carry on, the family tree and keep it going. And there was one, I'm going to assume it was one of my cousins. She's expecting a baby. So it's like, okay, so we have a baby over here, about 3 weeks old. They're, the next generation of the family. And then we have an unborn child in your gut, and potentially will carry on, with the further generations of family, which is going to be, I don't know, whatever, I guess. I don't have kids, so whatever. But anyway, it was a great time. Met a lot of cool people. So that's why I was last week, because a week ago today, that's where I was. I was at a family reunion, and it was fun. Let's see what else is going on. I spent some time with my mom yesterday. We went to Walmart in Owasso, and we went to we had lunch at the Jade Buffet. And something really sweet happened yesterday when we were at Walmart. Some of you might know the story, but for those of you who don't, a vast majority of you probably don't know the story. So Mom and I, we walked into the store, and there is this little kid. He was probably, I'd say, maybe 6, 7. I mean, he was just a little kid. And his name was Jaden. And he noticed my mom's cross necklace. My mom was wearing a cross necklace, and she has a tattoo of an angel on her collarbone. And the little boy noticed her necklace and the wings on the angel and the tattoo. And he says, "I really like your cross necklace and your tattoo." And Mom says, "Well, thank you." And then he says, "Can we be best friends?" And his mom standing there, she's kind of laughing, and she's like, "Oh my God." And my mom says, "Sure, of course we can be best friends." She says, "Your name's Jaden? This is my son, and his name is Jared." And he looks up at me and he says, "Can we be best friends?" And I stuck my fist out. I said, "You betcha, homie." And then we did a little fist bump to commemorate the friendship. Although within 5 seconds, we became best friends. I don't know how that happened, and his mom was like, "Oh my God, leave these people alone. Stop bugging people, quit bothering them." But in honesty, it didn't bother me, didn't bother my mother, didn't affect anybody really, not negatively. And I told the boy's mom, I said, I said, on a world filled with hate, it's refreshing, it's heartwarming to know that there's still love to be had in the world. And she kind of smiled and shook her head. And so Jaden, I will never forget him. I'll never forget that moment that I had. It was pretty cool. I think it's pretty indicative of the times that we're in right now, because everybody is in constant trigger mode. Everyone is afraid of their own fucking shadow, so to speak. And y'all need to just lighten up. You know, I could go on for weeks at a time ad nauseum talking about the issue that we have, that everybody's so paranoid and everybody's so afraid of their shadows or afraid of each other, that everyone is out to get them and you can't trust anybody, blah, 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 blah. Calm down with that shit. Not everybody in the world is out to hurt you. Not everyone in the world is out to get you. But, you know, you do have the occasional jackass out there who likes to get shit started and cause problems for other people. That's their problem. You be the person who breaks the cycle. If a kid can understand it, why the fuck can't an adult understand it? And that's where I'm at with that particular moment that I had yesterday. It was a very eye-opening experience. I mean, he was a sweet kid, and you know, there was people everywhere. There were people all over the place, and it was in broad daylight. We're in a fucking department store. It's not like it was an issue of stranger danger. It was nothing like that. I think what it was is his mom or his dad, maybe perhaps both, they're raising their child. They're raising Jaden to be loving and caring, and hopefully that will flourish throughout his life, and he'll grow up to be a very lovable, kind, respectable, caring individual. And he won't fall into this collective trap of be afraid of everybody because everybody's evil. We're all out to hurt each other. It's just, there's so much hatred in the world, and the internet kind of fosters the hate. I mean, you guys can see that for yourselves. I know it does for a fact, as I've been the target of you know, harassment and hatred and whatever the case may be. But you know, it's an eye opener just to be a different person, to be better than who you are or what you are. You know, life is an occasion. You're only going to get one shot at this. You might as well treat people with respect and dignity, and just be open and loving and caring and understanding. That's it. You know, so that's one thing I learned from that experience. And maybe I'm you know, just waxing poetic here, because you know, there's people who they would just look at that. Generally, people would just look at that. No, that was cute, you know, and get on with their life. But really, I'm one of these people. I take things to heart. And when I have an experience like that, especially from a child who comes up and just, you know, some random kid with his mother shopping, and he says, "Can we be best friends?" Sure, why not? You know, it's not like there's any real danger or threat happening, because today that's where people go. They immediately go to that in their minds. Oh, there's some ulterior motive going on, stranger danger, there's a threat. You know what? Why don't you do yourselves the favor of turning off the news once in a while? Go outside, listen to the birds sing, get some sunshine, go for a drive, go for a walk, get away from the fucking television and get out into the real world and have those experiences. Is it really that much to ask? I don't think so. I don't watch the news anymore, only to get the weather. That's it. I don't watch the news for anything else, just to find out what the weather's going to be like tomorrow or next week or whatever the case may be. Because the media, I've noticed this, that the media, they love to drive wedges in between people, whether it be political, religious, whatever the case may be. They're always trying to divide people. And they can play innocent and they can pretend as if they're trying to bring people together and, oh, looky me, you know, and their self-righteousness and their, you know, infinite wisdom. Okay. Basically what it does, it hurts more than it helps. And that's why I don't watch the news. I don't listen to the media. I don't follow trends. I'm not a trendy mainstream kind of a person. I don't do what everybody else is doing just because they're doing it, or just because it's cool, or just because it's what's in right now. I don't follow trends. I'm not someone who looks at something that's de rigueur and say, okay, well, this is the new way. This is the new orthodoxy of how we live life. So I guess I'll follow that. No, I form my own opinions. Love me or hate me, I am who I am. I'm Jer Bear. I will say whatever comes to mind. I will voice my opinions, and I will call people out on their shit. You better believe it. So, but I'm in a good mood today, and I don't know. I think today we're probably just going to take in some pop bottles to the grocery store and get some money, because we're a little low on funds around here. I could use a little extra cash in my pocket, and so I'll probably do that after I get done with this. And for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm here every Sunday from 3 until roughly around 4 o'clock Eastern time in the afternoon. And I just talk about random things. I ad-lib everything in my live streams here. I didn't start out doing live streams. All my Sunday video updates were actually pre-recorded in the beginning. And then I decided that Sunday would just be the pick day to do these updates, because I was off social media. And most people who watch my videos now still remember me from social media, and they want to get updates and they want to find out how I'm doing and what my thoughts are, and that's fine. I consider myself to be an influencer to some degree. Like, I'm not a big major YouTube celebrity. I'm just another guy. I have thoughts and views and opinions like everyone else. And, I do what Dave Bondi says by keeping it real. Now, those of you who don't know who Dave Bondi is actually a local reporter here in the state of Michigan. He works for Fox 66, NBC 25. It's called Mid-Michigan Now. And he's all about keeping it real. But as much as I have a great amount of respect for Dave, I listen to him speak, and there are some contradictions in his thoughts and opinions. I've been very contradictory about my thoughts and opinions over the years. There's nothing wrong with that, because that's how you learn. That's how you learn. You look back on something you said before, and it's like, I don't think and feel that way anymore. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, it was 4th of July. A couple weeks ago, I was contradictory in my own statement. I don't like fireworks, but I love fireworks. I love watching them from television. I actually don't really care to go out and watch them like in the open, out in the real world. So, we all live and learn. And Dave Bondi is a well-respected news reporter for our local Fox affiliate in my area, WSMH. And he's lived in Birmingham, Alabama. He's lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's lived in what did he say? I can't even remember now. But I know Birmingham and Pittsburgh were a couple places where he lived. And he's originally from Michigan, and he moved back. And he's a well-respected news reporter. But with that comes vanity. Like, you want to be number one in everything, and it's no slam against Dave. Dave, I respect him as a person, but as a news reporter, you have that. There comes the side of vanity. I'm a TV star for my local news. Well, that's great. If it makes you happy, whatever floats your boat. But at the end of the day, you're just a news reporter. You're just relaying facts, unbiased, facts to the public. And I respect him for that. I mean, we can agree to disagree on a lot of things. There's qualities about myself that I'm sure Dave would disagree with if we ever actually had a one-on-one conversation. And that's fine. I don't hold that against him. And I certainly hope that he doesn't hold what I just said against me. I mean, I'm just voicing my opinion. And, I'm entitled to my opinions, just as he and just as you and everyone else in the world. But he did make a good point. He said one time, he says, it's okay to have an opinion, but if you're going to be hostile about your opinions, I don't want to hear you. You're gone. You're going to be disrespectful. If you're going to be, bullying and intimidating people and attacking people because they think or feel differently than you, your history. Which, and I respect that. I get it. I mean, there's a lot of people that I've had to ban from my YouTube channel. Even when I had the chat log open, I figured, okay, I'll give people a chance. And if they fuck it up, chat log goes bye-bye. Well, they fucked it up for everybody else, and it won't be coming back ever again. I am a proponent of freedom of speech. I do believe that we all have the freedom of speech, but it's what you say and how you say it. That's what you have to watch for. You have the freedom to share your opinion, to voice your opinion. However, sometimes what you say has consequences. Now, and I mentioned this in the daily rant, my most recent daily rant, that someone else, another mother of a child fighting cancer, mind you, she's also a cancer patient herself. She read the bullshit on Facebook and she went bye-bye. She decided that, well, there's too much drama. Yeah, drama that they started, not what I started. So I told her that, you know what, if you want to actually have a civil conversation like adults and not fucking high school kids, okay, then call me. We'll have the conversation. We'll talk. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm hoping at some point she will mature and want to have a conversation instead of acting like a spoiled high school brat. And, we'll have the conversation because I'm a very forgiving person too. That's one thing that most people don't understand about me. They take me for granted. And that will either work for you or against you. And if you're going to believe shit without proof, without evidence, if you're believing things for no good reason, then you're pretty much done, because I'm not going to entertain that. Especially if you're not going to tell me why you believe what you believe. I know the what. I'm interested in the why, which I never get. I never get that. But anyway, so yeah, that was pretty much the crux of my week. I've just been busy. I was at Billy's last week, which was a lot of fun because they were closed on the 5th last week. They couldn't wish me a happy birthday, which was on the 8th. And which, by the way, my birthday was also a lot of fun. Got fucked up. My brother Wayne and his girlfriend come out from Saginaw, and I started out drinking beer. And the next thing I know, we're at Bennett's Family Tavern in Oakley. And he says, "Come on inside, little brother. I'm going to get you something." And I'm thinking, oh, fuck, what's he going to get me? Peach schnapps, a shot of peach schnapps, straight up. So I slammed the shot, chased it with a beer, got fucked up, woke up with a hangover the next day. And joining us now is my dad.
Hey.
I was just telling the folks about my birthday. My brother Wayne got me fucked up. But we did come back here. We listened to music, rocked out to Bob Seger, and it was a great birthday. But I woke up the next day with a headache and feeling dizzy and feeling sick to my stomach. And it's like, yeah, I'll eat some crackers and then I'll just kind of go back to sleep, just slide back off into Never Never Land. And eventually I felt better, obviously, but it was a good birthday. I lost my train of thought. I was going to talk about something else, but I totally forgot. Oh yeah, Billy's. They couldn't serenade me on the 5th because they were closed for the 4th of July weekend. And last week when I was at Billy's, which was the 12th, I didn't drink on the 12th at Billy's, but the whole bar joined in and serenaded me with a happy birthday. And Dan says, well, Dan Richards from WKCQ, by the way, he says, well, what do you want to play, like a birthday song? I said, well, how about Roger Miller, Chug-a-Lug? And he says, you got it, buddy. And then he played Chug-a-Lug, and I'm sitting there singing along with him, and everybody's singing along, and it was great. It was a great time. And the Davis reunion was pretty good, as I mentioned at the top of the live stream here. Met a lot of cool people. We met a cousin of ours. His name is Herschel, and he lives in Columbiaville. And he's just a cool guy, man. He's down to earth. He's one of us, you know. He's like one of us. He's down to earth. He's laid back. He doesn't give a shit, you know. And you know, it's refreshing and it's relieving and relaxing and calming to know that you're not walking on eggshells with people that you can just sit and have a conversation. You can drink a beer or smoke a J or whatever it is you do. And we're all the same, you know, we're all the same. And he knows that and he recognizes that. And he's a really nice guy. And I'm glad that we met. And I'm hoping, and that's the television that you're seeing flash on the side of my face. I'm hoping if I'm ever in the Columbiaville area that I'll spot Herschel running around somewhere. I might stop, visit with him, have a pop or a beer or whatever. I don't know if he drinks. He doesn't drink, does he? Yeah, I think. Oh, wasn't he drinking a beer at the reunion? No. Oh no, that was the other crowd. They were drinking Busch Light, smoking doobies, and it's like, wow, you got to be intoxicated to deal with your own fucking relatives. Hoorah! But hey, to each their own. Whatever gets you through the day. But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself, and excuse me, my friends from Billy's, they'll probably, well, the one I know for sure is probably going to text me here in the next little while and say, are you going to be out at Billy's tomorrow night? I hope I see you there. I don't have the money at the moment, and I'm trying to save money. And it's not that I don't want to go out there, but you know, we're already at the end of July pretty much. I haven't done shit this summer. I would at least like to go on one major road trip before the summer's over. And I'm trying to save money. I'm trying to pinch pennies. I'm trying to. I don't want to spend all summer going to the bar every week. I'd like to go on a vacation. I'd like to go north. You know, I got friends who live in Kentucky. They want me to drive down. I got to get my van. There's still a couple of things on my van that I have to get fixed. I got an oil change last week, or was it the week? No, it was on the 2nd. So it wasn't last week. It was, I got an oil change, and then the engine light came on, and when it's automatic, when it shifts kind of hard. And Dad put some training fluid in it, and it did calm the hard shifting for a while. And then recently I noticed it's kind of shifting hard again. So I told Mom about that. Mom says maybe they didn't tighten something on the bottom, or I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. I have no idea. I'm not a mechanic. So how was your week, Dad?
Pretty good, I guess.
Pretty good?
Yeah. I mean, we all want it to be better, but we take it one day at a time.
Yeah, we all want it, you know, and that's what I was just telling the viewers here. You only get one shot at life. You might as well just try to make it as best as you can. You're not going to please everybody.
Go with the gusto.
Yeah, go for the gusto. That's right. You're not going to please everybody. You're not going to make everybody happy. You're not going to win over the hearts and minds of everybody. But, you know, at least you can live the best life you can. And even when no one else is looking, and you got to kind of do everything as if no one's looking, and then you'll attract the right people into your life.
Guarantee you, when you're alive, nobody comes to see you. I guarantee you, the day you die, everybody will be there.
Yeah, yeah.
People that hasn't even come to visit with you, or haven't even called or said, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah.
So, when I'm dead, I don't want nobody to come see me.
Yep.
You weren't here.
The thing is,
2 miles down the road.
The thing is, too, is, and like Dad said, and Dad's right. I mean, you know, I'm alive. Come and see me now. Don't wait until I fucking die to say, oh, I loved him. I miss him. I wish he was still here. Well, I was here, and you didn't pay 2 inches of attention to me or even acknowledge that I'm still alive. So it's not going to matter to me. Barkley down here is, I think he's relaxed. He's got arthritis in his hip, and Dad gave him an aspirin and put it on a hot dog, and he ate it right up. I think he's relaxed now. I think the medicine's really helping him. Gotta go out, Barkley. Gotta go outside. Ooh, that's bright. Hello.
Get in here. Come on.
Hurry up and shut the door, Dad. It's giving off light. But yeah, you gotta live life one day at a time and just be yourself. And if people want to walk out of your life, let them. Pack their fucking bags for them.
They weren't really your friends.
Hi. Well, it's just like I said before you walked through the door that another cancer mom ended up blocking me, or I guess is what you want to call it, because she's telling me that I keep getting warnings about you, and okay, big fucking deal. So you get warnings about me. Are you going to go with hearsay, or are you going to go by actual credible evidence? Which is what I discussed in the recent daily rant that I did. If you're going to be stupid, then just keep being stupid, but do it when you're not in my life. That sounds like a more logical, critically thought out way of doing it. If you're going to be ignorant, and if you're going to cherish your ignorance, do it the fuck out of my life. Don't waste my time. And it's like I told Amy, or did I tell Amy who? Yeah. I told Amy before I went live today, that there is a difference between people who are just generally nice versus people who are actually your friends. And I think that's what's happened with a lot of these people who were my friends. They weren't really my friends to begin with, because any real friend would not just walk out of your life based on what someone else had to say. They would have the conversations like grown adults instead of spoiled ass, brat ass high schoolers. So I'm doing great. I'm not losing sleep. I'm doing great. I'm as happy as I've ever been. I just had to learn how to let things go. Can't control how people think. You can't control how they behave. However, I can control how I react to situations. So I've got that control. I've got that power.
I do too. You know, that's right. You know what I say? Fuck it.
Yep.
They don't like
And it's just one of those things where you got to kind of just swallow your pride and let it go. We're not talking about the people starting the gossip. I'm talking about the people who pretended to be my friend. But they didn't even get what they can. They just they were just being nice. So if you don't have the wherewithal and the power to make up your own mind about shit and to actually go by what's evidently true, the door's that way. Actually, it's behind me, but the door's that way. Oh, and you can ride this on the way out. So anyway, I think I made my point, but you had a good week. Hello over there. I'm talking to you. Did you have a good week?
Yeah.
What are you looking at? A lottery ticket? Yeah, my cousin Damien, today's his birthday, as I mentioned, and he was at the Owasso Speedway, and it was last night, and I guess the car quit.
We're good with the 4 cars that run good around the track.
Yep. I don't go to the races, so I don't know. I was with my mother yesterday, spent the afternoon with her and my stepdad, and ex-stepdad, but I still call him my stepdad. They're not legally married anymore, but I still call him dad, but I spent the afternoon with her yesterday, which was nice. And what else did I do last week? Oh, yeah, I was in Owasso. What was it, on Tuesday, I think? I don't remember the day of the week. It escapes me, but I was hanging out with a female friend and her son, a 6-year-old, and we had ice cream. I took him out to ice cream. Then we went shopping at Walmart. Then we went to the Jade Buffet, Chinese restaurant. And she paid for it. She offered to pay for it. It's like, are you sure you can afford, can you afford that? Me, you, and your son? She says, yeah, it's on me. Okay. She says, well, you did a lot of drive. You drove us to get ice cream and you drove us to Walmart. And we're friends. That's, and it was raining that day. I mean, you're not going to want to hoof it all the way around Owasso, especially when you have a 6-year-old, and especially more so because it's raining. You don't want to take a chance of your child getting sick, being in the rain. And, she's like, oh, you're the sweetest friend ever. And I've heard that a lot this week or this past week. Oh, you're the sweetest friend ever. And we love you. And which is nice. I'm not taking it for granted. I'm not putting it down. It's nice to hear. But I'm just being myself. I just try to do what I can do to help people when I can. And there's, these people who are always talking about burning bridges. Well, I haven't burned bridges. The people who not only they start the gossip, but they want to believe the gossip, those are the people who burn the fucking bridges. I'm still a pillar as far as I'm concerned. The pillar didn't collapse. The bridge collapsed. I'm the pillar. I'm still standing. Come try knock me down, motherfuckers. I dare you. Hi. Yeah, sticking your nose in your own business. He's got away with words, but I'm just waiting for your input. Sometimes I guess there really is nothing else to say. I guess I hit the point right on the head.
People want to believe everything that they hear without going right to the main source
or looking at any evidence. Because you people, you have to understand. I don't know how many times weekly I have to say this on my channel or just elsewhere in general. If you make a claim about anything and you're trying to convince other people, you got to have evidence to confirm that your claim is accurate and true. And the people who are blindly believing things without the evidence are just as fucking just as much at fault for believing shit for no good reason. I don't believe anything until I have reason enough to believe it. Well, there's different standards of evidence. I've heard that. Yeah, but I'm going by the nature of the claim. Now, if you tell me that you have a dog, I'm liable to believe that you have a dog because, hey, I have 2 dogs. I'm talking about dogs. I have 2 dogs. So I'm liable to believe that you also have a dog. Because dogs generally are pets and humans are usually generally stewards of the pets. We take care of them. But if you tell me that there's a unicorn in your backyard, well, I'm going to need a lot more evidence than just believing that you have a unicorn in your backyard. That's different claims require different standards of evidence. That's just how that works. And especially when it comes to running someone's name in the ground, like you hear about Bob over there. He was molesting his children and he was raping his wife. Well, there's got to be some angle. There's got to be some level ability, especially like, say, for example, if the person has had a past history of sexual abuse, if they're registered sex offenders, if, and even with the sex offender thing, there's a lot of people who are on there based on things that are nowhere near anything to do with being sexual. I mean, there was a guy in Saginaw. He was out on the rivers, Cass River, I think, out by Saginaw. He was on a flat bottom canoe, a flat bottom boat. He was in a secluded area. There were no houses around anywhere. He was out in the middle of the river by himself. He unzipped his fly, hung it out. Lo and behold, you got someone on shore watching him take a piss into the river. So what did they do? They called the law. And then his ass got locked up for indecent exposure, and he had to register as a sex offender. Which, yeah, it's just really, it's that bogus. But the point I'm trying to make, and I know I kind of went off the rails there, but the point I'm trying to make is you have people who they will use anything against you because it's personal. They don't like you. I've had that problem myself. They don't like me. So they're going to try to drum up anything on me that they're personally attacking me. They're going to use anything against me. Now it's the Daily Rant recordings. Oh, well, I got word, and it was from this particular mother. Oh, I got word that you're being sexually explicit. If me referring to parents who support FAM and Milk Tyson, a bunch of Milk Tyson cocksuckers, yeah, I guess you could say I'm being sexual. And I admitted it. And hey, Milk Tyson admitted to sexually harassing people. Why aren't you making a big stink about that? Just saying. I mean, he admitted to it on a podcast. Just saying. He got kicked out of a homeless shelter. Well, tell me, if a guy is a recording artist, if he's a recording artist, a rapper, what the fuck is he doing in a homeless shelter? Shouldn't he be rolling in the dough? Shouldn't he be he should have all kinds of money. Well, he's got all kinds of money now at the expense of the public. Because FAM, as I've said, I think a couple weeks ago, FAM is a corrupt criminal fucking organization. And you people need to stop donating your money to Fighting All Monsters. You need to stop. It's just like the Catholic Church, corrupt and criminal. Yeah, I said that. Got a problem with it? Oh well. Go away. But yeah, so I went down that rabbit hole this week. I don't know. I give what I'm given. So if you're going to treat me like shit, I'm going to give it right back to you. You can expect it. On this channel or in public or in a text message or in an email, I will happily and gladly tell you to fuck off. I will tell you to fuck right on off, and I'll get butterflies in my stomach doing it. So I give you a little wink. Let's see. I've been here for, well, not even 40 minutes. I still got a little ways to go yet. So yeah, I'm usually, for those of you who are new to the channel, I'm usually here for about an hour, from about 3 o'clock until about 4, around there. Today we're going to cash some bottles, right? Okay. Cash and pop bottle. Yeah, because Frank's closes at 7 o'clock on Sundays. They close early on Sundays. I think 7 or 8. Yeah. I'd have to call Frank's and find out how late they're open tonight. Actually, I can do that right now. I'll do that right on. I'll do that right on the live stream if I don't drop the phone. Let's see here.
Good afternoon, and thank you for calling Frank's.
Yeah, how late are you open tonight?
We're open till 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
No problem. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's what I thought, 7 o'clock. Not all of them, some of them. yeah, so we got plenty of time. 3 hours is more than plenty of time. But yeah, depending. I mean,
Your feet go down.
yeah, the seats, they fold down into the floorboard. Yeah. Oh, yeah. How could I have forgotten this? How could I forget to mention this? I was at cruise night last night in Chesaning. For those of you who don't know what cruise night is, it's just antique cars. Like they had an antique car show and they had a craft show at Nixon Airport. And I ran into my buddies. You might remember Adam and Reese. I ran into them and we walked through town, had a good time. People everywhere. The cops were out thick. Yeah, but it was a great time. I saw my cousin's dad he was down from Saginaw, and I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting to see you here. And we were talking about First Amendment auditing, and he says, there's a YouTube channel called Chesaning Press, and I never knew that it was called Chesaning Press. I said, yeah. And he says, I was wondering who Chesaning Press was, and he says, I thought I recognized you, Jared. And I said, yeah, that's me. He says, you're into the First Amendment auditing? I said, surprise. He says, you're a cop watcher? Hell yeah, I'm a cop watcher. I filmed the police. I've been to post offices. I've been physically attacked, I think maybe once. I've had a woman get in my face. I go to post offices, police departments, publicly accessible areas of public places. That's, perfectly legal. Some are nice and some are just real douchebags. But he was totally shocked. Like, I didn't know you Chesaning Press. Well, I didn't know you were Chesaning Press. Well, now you do. And hello, Zoe. I didn't mention his name though. His name's Dave, by the way. His nickname's Elf. And he was just asking questions about the First Amendment, and it's like, man, I'm always happy to educate, man. I'm always happy to educate. I had to educate myself on a lot of things, and when I educate myself on things, I can share that with the rest of the world. What I learned, I can give back to all of you. So for those of you who didn't know, yes, I have a channel called Chesaning Press, and I will probably expect to see the number in subscribers go up, hopefully. Okay.
Jill, the one that dad hangs with.
Jill, yeah.
Okay. She went to go from town or from the park where she was staying.
Yeah.
To the express stop while she rode with a guy.
Yeah.
He didn't have a plate on his vehicle.
Yeah.
And he had an open container of beer right here.
Yeah.
Right? Well, they got stopped.
Yeah.
The cops asked him for his identification and everything. They asked Jill for hers.
Well, if Jill was a passenger, by law, she don't have to.
But they found an open container of her whiskey.
Yeah.
Her bag. It was half open.
Yeah, but even if she's the passenger of the vehicle, she's not operating the vehicle. She's just the passenger. That'd be like, no, that would be like saying, well, if I get too fucked up to drive, you're my designated driver. Why would they identify me? I'm not the one driving. Yeah. You don't need my identification. I'm not the one that you pulled over. He is. Yeah. She did not have to give her identification. She didn't. She fucked up.
I told her that, but now she got a ticket for open and time.
But how, if she's not driving, how are they going to give her the ticket?
They give her the ticket because she was a passenger and she was drunk.
So what?
Yeah.
So in that case, what, are you going to give me a ticket for being a drunken passenger?
Found a half a bottle of vodka under her seat.
So what?
Yeah.
If the guy, yeah, but if the driver is drunk, intoxicated, you give them the fucking ticket, not the passenger. But she's the passenger.
But they said she had an open container because they found a bottle.
So what?
Bottle closed, half gone.
So what? She's the passenger.
She's been drinking.
Wow.
Yeah, see? I told
Wow.
you to fight that.
If she had the brains, and not saying she doesn't, but if she has the brains or the guff, she would fight that. I would.
She won't. She won't. you gotta go to court.
I mean, Jesus Christ, it's not like she's taking, speeders.
Mhm.
That's an illegal narcotic.
Yeah.
Then I could see that. But if you're drinking whiskey or vodka or whatever, which is legal,
And that was one cop.
and if you're a passenger,
You're not driving,
you're not driving,
right?
you don't have to identify yourself.
Getting drunk and you drive it, and they ask me.
Yeah.
I say, you ain't getting my name.
That'd be like if on my birthday, because I got fucked up, that'd be like dad getting pulled over and me not identifying myself, although I'm a drunken passenger, and they want to give me a ticket or try to lock me up. Fuck you.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, fuck you. I am not identifying myself because I'm not breaking a law. Period.
No ID on her.
Michigan, for those of you who don't know, Michigan is not a stop and ID state,
Nope.
which means that, like, say, if you're walking down a sidewalk, minding your business, and you have a camera up, you can film anything your eyes can see, by the way. That's the First Amendment. And a cop approaches you and says, well,
You can't be doing
do you know if they try to identify you, if they say, well, can I get your identification? You don't have to do that. You don't have to identify, and they can if they threaten you with arrest in order to get you to identify yourself. No, wait. If they threaten arrest to make you get identification, that's a violation of your rights. But if they put their hands on you, like Dad was going to say, yes, that is also a violation of your rights. But you do not, in Michigan, I can't speak for any other state. It might be something you want to look into in the state where you're watching from. Is your state a stop and ID state? If they don't have a reason to identify you, if you're not breaking a law, they have no legal right to ask you for your identification. You don't have to do that. And what are they going to do? Call backup? Then call backup.
That's like that.
Call backup. The more officers I educate, the better.
That's
So-
like that man that always walks, Jared.
Yeah.
You see him at the gas station, sitting outside, just sitting there.
Yeah.
He's not actually not breaking the law.
No, he's not breaking a law, but if he's drunk, he is, because it's drunk and disorderly.
But if he's just sitting
But if he's just sitting on the side of the road or sitting on
the bridge.
at the bridge down by the car dealer, the Ford dealer, he sits on the bridge railing. This older gentleman, he walks up and down and he collects empty cans like we do. We collect pop cans and to try to get a little bit of pocket change. Okay, yeah, no big deal. But it's all about an exercise of rights and educating people on their rights, and educating law enforcement, because I got to tell you, I don't have a hatred towards the police, but a lot of police don't understand how the law works, and they swore a duty. They swore an oath to the Constitution, and even they don't understand how the law works, and they try to enforce power that they don't have on people who aren't breaking the law. It's like a security guard, right? Security guard, the job of a security guard is to observe and report, not to bark unlawful directives or to tell you that you have to leave or to tell you that you can't do this or do that. That's not their job.
Just like that one that guy was outside the fence.
Yeah.
And they tried telling him. And they shot a light right on him.
Yeah. He's talking about an audit I did down in Troy, Michigan. The cop tried telling me, well, you can't film here. There's a gate for a reason. Yeah, but it's public property. Anything my eyes can see, I can film. There's no such law as trespassing eyeballs. That doesn't exist. Like, for example, I could be out, there's perfect example. I was out at this, there's a horse farm out on, I want to say McKinley Road, McKinley and Mount Morris Road. I stood on the side of the road filming the horses, perfectly legal. A Genesee County sheriff passed me. He saw me, didn't do anything. He just kept right on going because it's not illegal. You can film, huh?
That cop down on the corner.
Yeah, I went for a walk the other night and I was trying to get some pictures of the sunset. That's what I just like to take pictures of the sunset. And a Saginaw sheriff was down here at the corner. And because I found a beer can, an empty can on the side of the road, and I collect cans and I cash them in. And I'm just going to suspect that he thought I was drinking because he sat at that corner and he slowly crept around the intersection. And I said, "How you doing?" And he says, "Hey, how you doing?" And then he slowly proceeded down the road. He was trying to hem me up on something. I'm almost certain of it. And I had my cell phone going. It was recording him. You can film the police, and if the cops try telling you you can't, they're wrong. You can. It's legal. But it really pays to know what your rights are. I'm not saying that, you should go out and don't instigate the police, don't instigate people, but exercise your rights. And, a lot of people look at that as instigating. Like when you go to a post office or you go to a government building, a place where you're legally allowed to be, it's a publicly accessible area. Like even the state capitol. I was at the state capitol doing an audit down there and didn't have any issue. They were really nice people. I even shared an elevator with a state police trooper. So, and he didn't say anything about my camera. He didn't say anything about me taking pictures or photographs, not a word. And that video's on my Chesaning Press channel if you want to check that out. But a lot of them are educated on what our rights are. And, I commend the good officers, but the rogue tyrant cops, yeah, they get an education, and that's fun because they try to impose power on someone that they have no legal right to do. They don't like it when people push back. Don't be afraid to push back. They don't like it. They hate it because they approach people who, well, this sucker here doesn't know what his rights are. We're going to hem him up, and he's not going to know that he's got rights, that he could actually fight this. Oh, but I do. I do. And I'm the last one you want to fuck with because I will put you in your place. Yeah. Because if you violate my rights, there goes your qualified immunity. Bye-bye. Which they need to do away with qualified immunity anyway. They really need to do away with that. I mean, we see in this country all the time, we hear about police violence, brutality, and, like with the George Floyd situation, the cop that killed George Floyd. The George Floyd thing, though, was national news. These cops, they had their fun before the internet. Now we're watching them. Now we're onto them. And there's nothing wrong with holding your government officials accountable. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Whether they work at a post office, city hall, Capitol building, a Secretary of State branch office, anywhere where you're legally allowed to be, accessible to the public, you can film. And this talk about, well, people don't want their personal transactions recorded. Well, I'm not interested in recording anyone's personal information. I'm only interested in recording my personal information, which, by the way, some of it may be filtered out. But usually, like, for example, if I go to a post office, I'm usually there just to buy a stamp. I want to document my transaction and I'll be on my way. But I've had people tell me that I'm not allowed to film in a post office. Yes, I am. It is on the wall. The rules of conduct on federal property are posted. They call it Poster 7. Every post office in the United States has a Poster 7. Check your post office. The next time you go to your local post office, look for the rules of conduct governing federal property. It's called Poster 7. I guarantee you it's in your post office. Every post office has a copy of Poster 7. And there is a paragraph that clearly states photographs and video may be taken inside the building. You can film the interior and exteriors of federal buildings. Not only are you protected by Poster 7, you're also protected by a DHS memo, the Department of Homeland Security. They released a memo in 2018, or I'm sorry, 2010, and then they redacted it in 2018, which gives you the express permission to film the interiors and exteriors of federal buildings, whether it be courthouses, post offices, police departments, city halls, Capitol building. You have the permission to do that. You can't just go inside the courtroom unless you actually work for media, like a television station where they have the press credentials. But if you're outside or even in the lobby, the vestibule, you can film anything your eyes can see. You can have your camera up and film everything. And if they try to tell you you can't, they're wrong. They're wrong. I know a lot about this stuff. And the big one, the third most, and that's the most important document that protects you in the filming and the photography, we call that the United States Constitution. And it was signed by James Madison. He signed the Bill of Rights, which gave us the right to free press, because public filming and photography falls under free press. It's the First Amendment. It's not just freedom of speech, it's freedom of the press as well. And anything that you capture in public and disseminate back into the public is considered news. I'm giving all of you an education today. This is accurate information. Anything your eyes can see, you can record. And if you release it back into the public, that's considered news. We're all media. Everybody is. And you can ask Dave Bondi from Fox 66. He knows the First Amendment. We've had a brief conversation about that not too long ago. And he says, yes, you are absolutely right. You can stand on a sidewalk and film anything your eyes can see. That's the First Amendment. And if people don't want to be in your video, the wise thing to do would be to not approach the person holding the camera to say, I don't want to be in your video. That's really illogical, stupid. Just mind your business and just go about what you're doing. Well, I don't want to be in your frame. Too bad. You're in the public. I don't need your permission. And you don't need permission.
If you don't stop talking to me, then there ain't no problem. Just walk through. If you get on film, always get on it. But you don't
Tell 'em. And when people, they've told me, well, I don't want to be in your video, say, well, I've already got permission to film you and everything else. And when they ask me, well, who gave you the permission? The Constitution gives me the permission. So, but I rambled. I kind of went off there a little bit, but it's good to know what your rights are. And I didn't mean to go on a tangent. I was actually talking about cruise night in Chesaning yesterday, which was really awesome. I had a wonderful time hanging out with Adam and Reese, and they actually walked all the way from Jake's house. They walked out, and that's quite a long walk. So they asked me if, Adam says, well, can you take me back home to my dad's? Sure. And I had the boys with me, and Reese was going to spend the night, but Jake said no. So I had to take Reese back home to his mom's. And before any of you get any weird ideas in your head, the parents know who I am and they trust me. I've known Jake my whole life. Kelly, we've known Kelly for 4 or 5 years, maybe. And matter of fact, I visited with Kelly yesterday, and I had baby Lily on my lap, and I had my hat backwards and my glasses were off, and I'm sitting there making fish faces at her, and she puts her hands over her face like this, just being silly. And she's going to be 2. She's going to be 2 years old. She's an adorable little sunflower. That's what I call her, little sunflower. And she's a cutie pie. And she's got this thing now where she'll stand up and then she'll bend over, like she'll lean forward, and then she'll do that and do this with her head, act like she's laughing real hard. She is a riot, man. She's funny as hell. But yesterday was a great day. I had a lot of fun. I spent it with my mom, and went to cruise night. Someone told me that they have cruise night every Saturday in Chesaning, but I don't know. I don't know how accurate that is. I'd have to look into that a little further.
And you want to say sorry to Kelly for her loss?
Yes.
Dad,
Kelly, the friend I was just talking about, her dad passed away just recently. They buried him today. So Kelly, we send our love and condolences. And I don't know if you watch my videos, but just know that we're always here if you need somebody to talk to. And I'll come visit you and we'll shoot the shit and talk about things. And, you know, we'll do what we normally do whenever I come visit. And I've been here for officially an hour. So I talked right to the very end of right through the hour. Cool. Yeah, I had a lot to say. Well, I've been kind of absent past couple of weeks. So I think that's about going to wrap it up. As you can see, I'm doing pretty good. Still hanging in there. Still calling people out on their bullshit. Not taking any shit. And that's how it's going to be from here on out. That's how the ball's going to roll. So, Dad, any final words before we...
My final word is know your rights. Get educated on it. Go to your local post office and branch offices and find out what your rights are. Read that little paper. It'll tell you.
Poster 7.
Yeah, Poster 7. And good luck and have a good day, people.
And you can film in a post office. You can take pictures and video in a post office. So Dad's message for this week is know your rights, be educated. Amy would probably just say peace out. She's hiding out in the bedroom. I think she's on the phone. Talking to some friends of hers. So I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to wrap this up this week by saying I hope you all have a wonderful week. I thank you for tuning in to the Sunday video update. My name is Jared Fuller, aka Jer Bear. I will be here next week, which will be the final Sunday of July, and then we will start August. Yeah. So I think August 1st. Were you going to the Perkins reunion? I might pop into the Perkins reunion. So there might not be a Sunday video update again on August 1st, but if I decide to change my mind and just say, fuck it, I'll do the Sunday video update anyway, you'll be the first to know. So until next week, guys, much love. Peace out. Have a good week and stay productive, stay happy, stay smiling, and always ask for evidence of claims. Have a good one. Take care.